Okay, I'm assuming this is recording. Well, this is just bonkers. I'm just doing screen record. I wanted to show you OBS. Here, I'll show it in here. And the Launchpad, it looks like this. It's the OBS thing here. I'm not going to open it up because I'm in a different computer now. But I did the OBS and I couldn't screenshot the other. And then there was a gardener outside, and this is the movie that I made. It's garden outside. But this is just a test shot of like maybe me doing a daily show. So here it is. In this folder I call Whatnot Test Edit. And there's some of these other, see, I go outside. Okay, I get a little shot from the, maybe the news. Well, maybe the news because it's kind of freedom of press. You can do that without too much copyright worry. And I get an original morning shot of the sunrise. It's very rainy today, and that's what that looks like. Okay, stop. Okay, so what does it look like if I go over? I have to make sure. Oh gosh, I have to make sure there's nothing left. I have to erase stuff in. Otherwise it comes up. Okay, so I already opened it up, so it didn't take too much time. I'm doing this in Final Cut Pro. So here's Final Cut Pro. I made a little blah blah thing here, and I'm just gonna import some stuff, and it helps to have like some type of organization. I'm used to these folders, so this is like stuff on the desktop, and I know some of these. It's just a bonker mess. So here's an outro from a start. Oops, bump mic. Here's an outro and an intro. Oh, my little quick start stuff. Okay, let's do the cowbell I've been doing. This is a little internal folder, has sound effects, and there's a song. And then there's the outward song, and there's a swoosh. Oh, look at that. There's the and here's an intro. And ambient, and then I do the cuckoo stuff. It's like stuff I typically drag in, and then it's up here. This is not trying to teach you how to do Final Cut Pro. I'm just teaching you. Oh, oops, too big. Oh, okay. I'm just showing. This is kind of like what I do. And there's outro. Put the intro, outro, and then this is so much easier for me. I guess because I've been doing it than the I'm not even bothering showing too much, like, oh, this and that with the Final Cut Pro. Oh, whoopsie-doo. Then I go down here, and my things are usually labeled W, so they're down. Oh, wrong one. So they're kind of all in the last in the line. This can be there it is, test edit. This is, select the first one, then the last one, hold down Shift, import all. So now they're all imported up here, those things. It's kind of okay, and then I'll stick the show bit in there. Okay, so now there's like intro, outro, show bit inside there, and usually, okay. Oh, I forgot to do something, which would be, okay. I'll show you this part. So in the beginning, I have about 6 seconds, and it's supposed to have that. It's supposed to have this intro right here. Oh, and usually with this intro, I'll just color code it. Oh, and I got these other ones. Oh, gosh. And it only shows what you're hanging over. Come on, show that one. So I got these like, oh, this is industry standard. Ooh. But I just darkened that one a little bit, and that's about it with that, because I had made that before, but it's just a little light. And it's supposed to, this is all just bogus. I don't need any of that. And then I'll just kind of scrub in this. This is, I don't know, Final Cut Pro is just so much easier than PP. Adobe po, beep beep. Okay, and then I just press B, it turns into that razor cut. And then I select that, and it's gone, and it snaps right back in there. And then la 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 starts and then there's that. And I hope this screen capture is working. And then usually I'm like, oh, look at this. Okay, now I'm going to show you props the end. This is how I'm going to do this end bit. Okay, I'm going to get way over here, squash it up, and then I'm going to spread it out. I'm using a mouse pad, by the way. I'm not using a mouse here, although I do have the mouse hooked up. The mouse is also hooked up. And here's my ending. Ding dong. And here's that outro of the sunrise. It's a sunrise, but it's kind of like the sunset of the episode. So what I'll do is I'll just go right in between, and the transition should be a fade, but it isn't because it doesn't in the OBS. But if I hang here, this frame here is that frame here is this, or this frame here is that. So I go to that frame, the frame on this side, then press B, and then cut there, and it's really right on the money. So I separated this one here, and I press A, and I'm back to the selector. So I separated that. And usually I'll have an extra one up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to transport the same thing right there, and it fades out. But I'm going to have to put a little spacer here. So I go up here, I get the solid. I'll just use black, which I use. Let's put it in there. Oh, wait, I don't want to replace it. It's cancel. I want to put it in between, so it pushes it over there. See, it pushed it over there. And I'll center this right in the middle. Bring this, select it, shorten it. So it's about like that. So this is just using a spacer. And this one, oh, of course, you can kind of color correct if you want. Oh, look, it's it's supposed. What I do is just pump up the color. So just jam up the color, because it is a little subtle, and you see this stuff with your naked eye. But if you go out and try to digitalize it, this thing is just, don't overdo it. But I like majorly overdo what would be normal, and then bring it down somewhat. And it has like, the idea is just, it's sunrise, make it look pretty. And this is already done. This was kind of colorized in the photo, the previous one, the OBS thing. And then I'm going to add the transitions, and this one, it cross dissolve transitions. I cross dissolve tons of stuff. I just put it in the middle. Put it in the middle here. And it asked me if I want to create a transition, because there's two different. The first clip and the second clip are a little different. You see, this clip and that clip are different, so it asks you when to create transitions because it uses up a few frames up here. And I'll select that little transition here, the fade transition, and spread it out big time. So the idea of this kind of show is to really make a thing, really overdo it here. I'll just do here, full view. Oh, hey, see you later, next time. And then I gotta put a transition in here. And in the OBS, this kind of, it chokes if it's doing too much. So it'll stop. So sometimes I'll take that whole clip and replace it with the original. And just it's not like redoing that clip. And there's the fade. So I would take this clip here and use the original and just sort of redo it. Jeez, this is terrible. And the thing is, you can spread this transition, this fade transition out a lot more. But what's going on with this? Anyways, okay. So next, so this is like this end bit. I'll just show you this part right now. Okay, it's from there to there. And then there's one more thing I want to do is make the sound stuff. So, hey, this is going to be weird. Let's just try to do this inside this. I'm not sure if it's going to do, but I'll voice over. If I mess it up, okay, I'll just voice over here. Let's see if it does it. I don't know. See, it has the microphone selected. It goes 3, 2, 1. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Hey, I'm using the voiceover, and I'm saying bye-bye, fresh aloha, and fresh edit again. Fresh edit stuff. There's all kinds of fun. Aloha to you, and then stop it, right? And then I'll close that thing out. That's under Windows. You get voiceover, because that's a handy one to know. And hear this voiceover. And I correct audio a little like a madman. It's just very brutal. So here's my audio. I'll use the audio stuff. I like to, well, I use loudness and effects, but noise removal, being serious, it needs a little bit of that hiss in the background taken away. So I usually 63% it, and then I'll pump up on the bass boost and even use the equalizer and do this. A couple on the high notes and a couple on the low notes to about 6 decibels, it says. And so that's my modification of that. And usually it's a little bit high, so I'll take the volume down a little bit. So there it is there. So I'll take that one and go copy. And if I copy right here, it'll copy right there. So edit, paste. So there it is, copied there. And then move it up a little, edit, paste. And then it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'll space them out somewhat like that. And this is the second thing. I'm just going to move this down there with the trackpad. And now it's time for there's audio effects. And below, audio effects, and above, video effects. And then the audio effects in spaces, I use Cathedral a lot. It's a big reverb. On the second one, I use voice. And it's the helium voice I'll use. And usually helium voice will pull it down, make it softer, so I'll have to turn up the volume on that. And the last one, I'll do echo delay. Okay, there's echo delay. Yeah, okay. So there's these three. And they're overlap this, much like Ring Around the Rosie, and then the second person says Ring Around the Rosie. So here's what you got here. 3, 2, 1. Hey, I'm using the voiceover. Say bye-bye.
Hey, I'm using the voiceover.
Hey, I'm using the voiceover stuff, and I'm saying bye-bye. Fresh edit again.
There's all sorts of fun. Aloha to you.
There's all sorts of fun. Aloha to you. Aloha to you. And so, also, there's the typical ending thing I have. So I'm going to go back to my stuff I can select from my thing. Oh, you can move these around too. I'll show you that. But why? Just go get it. So I usually know where these things are because I use them so often. So I use the ukulele song. Pull it in here. Okay, let's make this smaller so I can see. See, the ukulele song is a lot longer. Like if I had it like this and I pressed save, like render save, all this would be black and you hear the song and it would end there. So no, let's end it right here. And what I tend to do, my little creative thing is, creative choice here is, as soon as I go up, usually I have an ending thing where it pans up, tilts up, and then I'll put this so it, oh gosh, grabbing these things. Sometimes if you grab it, you can alter the volume, but you want to grab underneath it, and you can alter its position. If it, oh, what? Okay. Oh gosh. Put that back. Okay, it wants to be weird. Okay. All I want to do is push it this way. Oh, what's it doing? Oh, because this is so short. You see, this is what happened. So I'm just going to cut this. Press B, cut. Press A, select. I'm going to chunk, because this is like a really teeny tiny version. And I push it over here. So when I go back here, expand so I can see. Expanding is really good because you can see a little bit more detail.
There's all sorts of fun. Aloha to you.
There's all sorts of fun. Aloha to you. And so Maybe I should stop there because it's like dinner time. But here goes this. So this is the ending. You can hear that outside. There's a garden and there's a buzzsaw. Bye. See ya.
Hey, I'm using
The
the
voiceover.
voiceover.
Say
Say
to us,
bye-bye.
hey, I'm using the voiceover.
Yes.
Hey,
And
I'm
say
using
bye-bye
the
from
voiceover
Omaha.
stuff. Say
There's
Fresh
bye-bye
edit
from
again.
Omaha.
Fresh edit stuff.
That's the same
Is that
shot,
sounds
so
fun?
it doesn't make
Aloha
sense.
to you.
There's all sorts of fun. Aloha to you.
Duh. And then the outro. Okay. Boing. I think that's it for this one. That's the edit the